Hi, I'm Christina and welcome to my channel, Chriskayoga. In today's video, we'll be doing a yoga routine for complete beginners. We'll be moving through the movement a lot more slowly and we'll be talking everything through. So if you're just starting out with yoga, or even if you've been practicing for a while and you're looking to get back to the basics, then this sequence will be great for you. So if you're ready, grab your mat and let's get started. Begin by lying flat on your back. You can stretch your legs all the way out and relax them completely. Place your palms flat on the floor right next to your body. If lying with your legs straight is uncomfortable for your low back, you can bend your knees, walk your feet out to the width of your yoga mat, and then bring your knees in towards each other, as I'm demonstrating in the top right corner of the screen. Once you find your comfortable position on the ground, close your eyes and begin to breathe a little bit deeper. Focus your attention on your breath. Become aware of the pathway of your breath as it moves in and out of your body. Begin to shift so that you're breathing in through your nose and out through your nose as well. And remain breathing in this pattern with your eyes closed for a few more deep breaths. Slowly and gently open your eyes. From here, bend your legs and then bring your knees in towards your chest. Holding onto your shins with both of your hands, keep your feet flexed. If holding on to your shins is uncomfortable in any way for your knees or your hips, you can place your hands underneath your knees behind your thighs, as I'm demonstrating in the top right corner of the screen. Once you have found your comfortable position here, begin to breathe into your stretch, softening your hips as you're gently pulling your legs in towards your shoulders, and being careful not to be too forceful with your stretching. Be gentle with yourself and your body, especially if this movement is new to you. Take one more deep inhale and exhale here through your nose. Keep your right leg bent and in your hands, and place your left foot on the ground. You can keep your left leg bent as I'm doing here if you have low back sensitivities. If you don't, and you would like a bit of a deeper stretch, you can straighten your left leg out onto the mat as I'm showing you here, all while keeping your right leg still bent and in your hands. Both feet are active and flexed. Hold this stretch here, continuing with the breath pattern that we have been doing, breathing in and out both through your nose deeply as you stretch. Release your hands from your leg and switch sides, placing your right foot down on the ground. Take hold of your left shin in both hands and keep your feet flexed, either keeping your right leg bent as I'm showing here. If you don't have low back issues and you would like a deeper stretch, straighten your right leg all the way out onto the mat as I'm showing here, again keeping both feet flexed. As we did on the right side, hold this stretch for several deep inhales and exhales through your nose. Release your hands from your shin. Place your feet down and bend both legs. Roll onto the right side of your body and use your hands to help you come up to a seated position. From here, swing your legs around and come onto your hands and your knees. Your knees are right underneath your hips, and your shins are parallel to one another behind you. Your hands are right underneath your shoulders, and your back is straight. Look down towards the ground, just forward of your fingertips to keep your spine in line. The tops of your feet should be flat on the floor. However, if they look more like this because of tight ankles, you can roll a yoga blanket or a thick towel, as I've done here, and place them right underneath your ankles so that the tops of your feet have somewhere to rest. We will now be flowing through movement in and out of two postures called cat and cow, repeating the flow 4 times. On your next deep inhale, look up and forward. Spread your shoulders and collarbones wide and feel your back arching. Hold here for cow pose. And then on your following exhale, you'll look back towards your thighs. Round your spine in the opposite direction by reaching your upper back all the way up towards the ceiling, and hold briefly here for cat pose. Take another deep inhale and come back into your cow pose by looking up and forward, spreading your shoulders wide and arching your back in the opposite way that it was before. Take a deep exhale and come back to your cat pose. Curve your spine, reaching your upper back towards the ceiling, and look towards your thighs. We will take each of these poses twice more. Take another inhale, look up and forward, spreading your collarbones wide, plants all 10 fingers firmly onto the ground. On your exhale, come back to your cat pose. Look towards your thighs behind you. Reach your upper back upwards in a curve. Hold here until you're ready to take your inhale. And then on your inhale, come back to your cow pose. Look up and forward and spread those shoulders. Find the arch in your back. Exhale, cat pose once more. Look behind you towards your hips and thighs. Curve your spine. On your next inhale, instead of coming back to cow pose, you will come back to a flat back. So bring your spine to straight and look down in between your hands. Touch your big toes together behind you, keeping your knees where they are. From here, keep your hands where they are as well and sit your hips onto your heels. If your hips do not reach your heels, you can take your yoga blanket or thick towel, place it on top of your calves and heels, and sit your hips on the towel or blanket. This also works with a pillow depending on how far up your hips are from your heels. Once they are on your heels or your prop, relax your torso over your thighs and bring your forehead to the ground. Keep your arms reaching out in front of you. This is child's pose. It's a pose of rest, so you can come back to this pose if you ever need throughout a yoga class. If you're feeling the movement is too much, too intense for you at that time, you can always revert back to child's pose if needed. Hold here for one more deep breath. Remain in child's pose as you energetically reach your arms all the way out in front of you, Spread all your fingers wide on the ground and keep your forearms lifted. Your arms are straight and active. From this pose, keep your hands where they are and lift your hips up. Gently bring your shins back to parallel to one another and tuck your toes underneath. Press into the ground with your hands and your feet as you straighten your legs, bringing yourself into an upside down V shape, also known as downward facing dog. In this pose, your hips are up and your heels are pressing down towards the ground. Feel free to keep your knees slightly bent. In the first downward dog of the class, add a little bit of movement, bending your knees, alternating bending and straightening, so we're pedaling our legs. This just gently warms up the hamstrings and is a little less harsh on your leg muscles and hip muscles. Move slowly and smoothly in this way just a few more times. You can now come to stillness in your downward facing dog and hold. Breathing deeply as you hold this pose. Once again, feel free to keep your knees slightly bent to be a bit more gentle on your hamstrings and the hamstring attachments. Your heels do not have to be on the floor. They just have to energetically be pressing down towards the ground. Take one more breath here. On your next inhale, raise your heels all the way up and bend your knees generously. Look forward between your hands and take gentle steps forward up to the top of your mat towards your hands, and you're bringing your body into a forward fold. You should place your fingertips on the ground. If your hands do not reach the ground, bend your knees so that your hands can reach it. Relax your torso completely over and allow your head to relax as well. From here, bring your hands to your hips. Keep your back straight as you press into the ground with both feet and come all the way up to standing. Your feet are parallel to one another and hips distance apart. Bring your hands down so they're right next to your sides. Standing up tall. This is mountain pose, the foundation of all yoga poses. On your next inhale, rotate your upper arms all the way out and raise them up towards the ceiling. Reaching up, look towards your hands. Take an exhale here and slightly bend your knees. Bring your torso back over. Your arms are going out, around, and down as well. And you're coming back into that same forward fold you just did. Your torso is relaxing over your thighs. Your head is relaxing as well. Your hands are on the ground, so bend your knees if needed. Take a deep inhale. Bring your hands to your shin bones. Straighten your spine up just halfway for one breath. Take another exhale. Fold back down and bring your hands flat on the ground next to your feet. Bend your knees generously so you can step back 1 foot at a time into a plank pose. You're up on your hands. Your body is in one straight line from your head all the way down to your heels. From plank, set your knees down onto the floor and untuck your toes, bringing the tops of your feet to the floor. Slowly lower your whole body down onto the ground, coming flat onto your belly. Bring your hands, keeping them flat on the floor right next to your ribs, and point your elbows up towards the ceiling. we'll be taking 3 low arches. Keep the tops of your feet and your hands on the floor. Inhale, lift your head and your shoulders off the ground. Hold here for a moment, using your back muscles to hold you up. And on an exhale, lower your head and shoulders back down onto the ground. Once more, take a deep inhale, lift your head and your shoulders using your upper back muscles, staying in your low arch before you exhale and lower back down onto the ground. Once more, inhale, lift your head and your shoulders, keep the tops of your feet on the floor behind you, and on an exhale, lower down. Tuck your toes, press into the floor with your hands and your feet. Come onto your hands and knees before you straighten your legs and press up into downward facing dog, another upside down V shape, and hold. Keep those knees bent if you're feeling too much sensation in your hamstrings, and gently send those heels down towards the floor and your hips up and back on the diagonal. Hold downward dog for 1 or 2 more deep breaths. Inhale, raise your heels all the way up and bend your knees generously. Look forward and gently step your feet up to your hands. Once you reach your hands, bring your hands to your shin bones and straighten your spine, looking up halfway. Half forward fold. Exhale, forward fold all the way down. Relax your head and bring your hands to the floor. On your next inhale, come all the way up to standing with a straight back and reach your arms up, looking towards your hands. On your next exhale, release your hands down by your sides and stand up tall. Next, we will be taking a pose called Utkatasana, also known as fierce pose and sometimes called chair pose. On an inhale, sit your hips back and reach your arms up and forward on the diagonal. Your weight should be behind you and your legs are bent. You should be able to lift your toes off the ground. Sit your hips back as if you're sitting on a chair behind you. You should feel the muscles in the front of your thighs starting to work to hold you up. On an exhale, keep your legs bent and fold your torso over your legs, bringing your hands to the ground. Relax your head. On your next inhale, bring your hands to your shin bones and straighten your spine, looking up halfway. And then on an exhale, fold back down, bringing your hands flat on the floor. Bend your knees generously and step back 1 foot at a time into a plank pose. From here, gently set your knees onto the ground and untuck your toes, bringing the tops of your feet to the floor. Gently lower your whole body onto the ground. Point your elbows up towards the ceiling. Palms are flat on the ground next to your ribs. Inhale and lift your head and your shoulders off the ground for another low arch. Hold for a moment using your upper back muscles. Keep the feet on the floor and exhale, lower down. Twice more. Inhale, lift your head and your shoulders off the ground for a low arch. Exhale, lower your head down. Last time here. Inhale, lift your head and your shoulders. Hold for a moment before you exhale and lower down. From here, tuck your toes underneath and press up into a hands and knees position. From your hands and knees, press up into a downward facing dog. Hold downward dog for 1 breath. From here, bring your right leg forward in between your hands. If needed, you can lift up your torso to step the foot forward, bringing your right knee directly above your right ankle. Once your right foot is settled, turn your back foot out and place the heel down, bringing the foot to a 45-degree angle. Look down at your feet and align your heels with one another or step them out wider, as if you're on railroad tracks. Once your feet are settled, lift your arms and torso up, reaching your arms all the way up. Keep bending into your right leg and keep your left leg straight. This is Warrior One pose. Hold your Warrior One and breathe deeply. Place your hands flat on the ground, framing your front foot. Turn onto the ball of your left foot and then step your right foot back into another downward facing dog. Hold your upside down V shape and get ready to take your Warrior One pose once again on the left side this time. When you're ready, step your left foot forward in between your hands, bringing your left knee directly above your left ankle. When your foot is settled, set your back foot down at 45 degrees and align your heels with one another or step them out wider towards the width of your yoga mat. Press into the ground with both feet and lift your arms and your torso up for Warrior One on the left. Keep bending through your left leg. Keep your right leg straight. Hold this pose and breathe deeply. Bring your hands onto the mat, framing your left foot. Turn onto the ball of your right foot. Press into the ground with your hands and step your left foot back into a downward facing dog. Remain in your downward dog for 2 deep inhales through your nose and exhales. On your following inhale, raise your heels all the way up and bend your knees. Look forward and walk your feet up to your hands at the front of your yoga mat. Bring your hands to your shin bones, straighten your spine looking up halfway, and exhale, fold your torso down. Bring your hands to the floor, relax your head. Inhale, bend your knees, sit your hips all the way back, and reach your arms up and forward, coming back into your fierce pose, chair pose, or Utkatasana. Remain here for 1 deep breath. On your next inhale, stand up tall, straightening your legs. Exhale, release your hands down by your sides. From here, step your feet out wide. Your feet should be as wide as the distance of your own leg. Bring your hands to your hips. Turn your right foot in, setting it down at 45 degrees on the floor. Turn your left foot all the way out. Your toes should be facing the shorter edge of your yoga mat. Look down at your feet and align your left heel with your right arch, as if you're standing on a tightrope. Look over your left foot and bend your left knee, keeping your right leg straight. Bring both arms out to the side, palms facing the floor. This is Warrior 2. We're going to add some flowing movement to our Warrior 2 pose. So, on your next inhale, you're going to reach your arms up and straighten your left leg, looking forward. On an exhale, you're going to turn your head back over your left leg and press down into Warrior 2. Inhale, straighten your leg and reach up. Exhale, press down, coordinating your movement and your breath. Inhale, straighten your leg and reach your arms up. Exhale, press into Warrior 2. Inhale, straighten your left leg, reaching your arms all the way up. Exhale, press your hands down, bend your left leg, Warrior 2. Inhale, lift your arms, straighten your leg. Exhale, bend back into Warrior 2. Inhale, reach your arms up, flowing, smooth movement. Exhale, press down, Warrior 2. Inhale, reach your arms up, straightening your leg. Exhale, press back down, Warrior 2. A few more times. Inhale, reach your arms up and straighten your leg. Exhale, Warrior 2. Press down slowly. Inhale, straighten your leg. Reach your arms all the way up. Exhale. Last time into Warrior 2. Hold for 1 moment in Warrior 2 before you straighten your left leg. Bring your hands back to your hips and turn your feet back to parallel. We'll take that entire sequence on the other side. Turn your left foot in, placing it down at 45 degrees. Turn your right foot all the way out. Look down and align your right heel with your left arch. And once your feet are settled, bend your right leg and reach your arms all the way out, looking to the right in Warrior 2. We're going to add movement. Inhale, straighten your right leg and reach your arms up. Exhale, press down. Inhale, straighten your leg, reach your arms up. And exhale, press down. Warrior 2. Inhale, straighten your leg and reach up. Exhale and press down into Warrior 2. Inhale, straighten your leg. Exhale, Warrior 2 pose. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, press down. Inhale, reach all the way up. And exhale, press back down, Warrior 2. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, pressing down. Last time, inhale, reach up. And last, Warrior 2. Hold for 1 moment in Warrior 2. And then you can come to straighten your right leg. Bring your hands to your hips. Bring your feet parallel to one another. From here, bend your knees. Send your hips back behind you and then come to a wide leg forward fold. Bring your hands to the ground. If your hands do not reach the ground, bend your knees generously. Allow your head to completely relax over and breathe deeply. Remain here and breathe. On your next inhale, come all the way up to standing with a straight back by bringing your hands to your hips and standing up tall. Bring your feet back in towards each other and then make your way back to lying on your back on the floor. Once on your back, straighten your right leg, reaching it up towards the ceiling. Keep your right foot flexed and hold on behind your leg on your hamstring muscle. If you cannot reach your leg, you can take a yoga strap or belt, place it on the ball of your foot, and then hold on to the ends of the strap. Feel free to pause the video if you need to get your prop. As for your left leg, you can keep it bent as I'm showing you here, or you can straighten it out onto the ground for a deeper hip stretch. Wherever you are, breathe into your stretch for one more deep breath. Release your hands from your leg or the strap and place the right foot down. Reach the left leg up now towards the ceiling. Straighten it as much as possible and hold on to your leg on the hamstring muscle. If you can't reach your leg, as we did on the other side, you can use a strap or a belt, placing it on the ball of your left foot and holding on to the strap with your hands. As well, you can keep your right leg bent or straighten it out onto the mat for a deeper hip stretch. Hold and breathe deeply. Release your hands and release your leg onto the mat. Cross your right ankle over your left top thigh. Thread your arms between your legs and take hold on the hamstring behind the leg. Bending both legs, hug your knees in towards your chest. You should mainly be feeling this stretch in the glutes and the hips. Hold here and breathe. Release your hands from your leg, uncross your ankle, and switch sides. Place your left ankle over your right thigh, thread your arm in between your legs, and hold on to the right hamstring. Bending the legs, gently pull your legs in towards your shoulders. Breathe into this stretch and relax here. Release your hands from your legs, uncross your ankle, and we will prepare to take our final pose of the sequence. Straighten your legs out onto the ground and relax them completely. Turn your palms up towards the ceiling. Close your eyes and once again begin to breathe more deeply. Breathing through your nose, focus your attention on your breath, just as we did at the start of the class. Notice the pathway of your breath moving in and out through your body. You can count your breath if it helps you to focus. You can also just feel your breath. Notice the rib cage expanding with your inhales and contracting with your exhales. It also helps to imagine that each exhale is allowing you to melt and relax deeper and deeper into the ground. Remain here and continue to breathe in this way. Slowly to come back into your body, bring some gentle and slight movement into your hands and feet. When you're ready, bend your knees and roll onto the right side of your body. Rest there for a moment with your arm under your head for support. Using your hands to help you, come up to a seated, cross-legged position, flexing your feet and bringing your hands to your legs. Close your eyes and sit up tall. Take a deep breath in and out. Bring your hands to meet at the center of your chest and bow your head to your fingertips. Namaste. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe for new free yoga videos every Monday and Wednesday. Please follow me on Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, and Twitter. Also, check out my yoga blog, girlonyoga.com. Thanks so much. See you next time.